If you're an executive dad in your 40s, you already are training 3 to 4 times a week, but you still have that stubborn belly fat, you haven't built that muscle mass, and also your energy dips, specifically after work when you want to be there for your family, your wife, your kids. This video is for you. My name is Nikhil Shah, founder of Fit Exec Life, and I help men just like you, executive dads in your 40s with families, with the responsibilities, ultimately build the system that allows them to get their goals in terms of their body, but also most importantly, keep it in the long run. Because your environment is different. I know it. I spent 10 years in corporate. The last role was being a CEO and a CFO of a 150 employee business out in East Africa. And there are different challenges. There's high stress. There's sitting down a lot of the day. There's travel. There's socials. There's different schedules. And so there's a lot of moving parts. And what I found is now, from being in this game on the transformation side, on the health, the performance, is that the pattern from speaking to hundreds of men over the last few years is that many men are able to do the work in the business, and you make the money, you build the wealth, you build the assets, you well respected. Most importantly, you feel good, you got the status, but still, deep inside, when you look at the mirror, you look at yourself, you see somebody who has dropped their standards. And these standards are ultimately what your kids will see and adopt. Whether your kids are under 10 or in their teenage years, in their 20s or so, it's a matter of how is it that you are showing up? Because remember, standards are revealed in moments when there's high stress, there's high tension, there's decisions to be made. And so when there's weekends, when there's travel, when there's holidays, these are the times when certain decisions either move you closer to being the person that you want to be or move you further away. And these are the three biggest patterns which I've seen. And the first one is ultimately there is no structure around. This can be as no structure in sleep schedule. Sleep is erratic. It can be in meal schedule, and then also in workouts as well, or workouts are non-existent. So when there's no structure, guess what? There's nothing to aim for. So you're always going to be winning / losing because there's nothing in place at the moment. So once you have some sort of structure, that's what helps. Now, the second thing is no self-control. So no discipline. And this is nothing to do with you. It's because the systems which you've been trying up until now are not designed for executives. They're not designed for people who have high stress, high demands, they travel a lot. And also this hasn't been built for men in their 40s, specifically when the body is aging, getting a bit more niggles and pains in the knees, the elbows, the necks, the joints, and also metabolism is declining as well. And so when there's no self-control, what that means is the systems that you've been following have created a certain identity. And that identity usually means if I do more, I'll get more. Specifically with achieving the results which you want, the identity has to be different. You have to be working smarter, just like you would do in business. You leverage 80-20 rule. What is that 20% that's going to get 80% of the results? The same thing needs to happen with sleep, with meals, with workouts. What is that 20% that's going to get those results? So as soon as you start to see yourself as, you know what, I am that sharp, that smart, the fit executive, that discipline will come naturally afterwards because you're focused on actually getting the results. Now, the third thing is not having a plan. You can have a business plan, but when it comes to your body, there is no proven health plan. And that is biggest problem, because if there's no plan, there's nothing to follow. If there's nothing to follow, guess what happens? Not much. And so what I've developed over this last number of years, it's been refined as I've been speaking to literally more and more men, hundreds of men I've spoken to over the last few years with exactly similar conversations, is there's a system, and I call it the Fit Exec system. And there's three parts to it. Number one is weekdays, having a plan. Number two is weekends. And number three is travel. When you have a plan in place for each part of this, weekdays, weekend, and travel, and a proven plan, then guess what? Results are going to happen because you've got now something to aim for for real life. And that is the key. Now, if you want help and support being in a peer group of other men who also have got similar goals, I invite you to join the waitlist for the next 14-day reset, where you can experience what a proven strategy feels like amongst your peer group in a private container. Now, this is only for executive dads in their 40s, and you're already training and you're highly motivated to achieve the goals that you want. So if that's you, then the link is in the comments below. Now remember, you are the CEO of your body. Nobody else is going to come and save you. You are.